told me a story a while back, Harrison, about your grandfather.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear it. I want you to tell that again. Yeah.
Okay. Which one?
One, just about the general how the business started.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was started just a couple blocks away from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it again. It's the coolest thing. Have you worked out yet today, Harrison?
Oh man, it was sad. It was sad because, you know, when you've been doing the workout like I have for a long time, you've got numbers.
All right, guys,
from
I'm here at Market Street Media. I'm going to show you guys what the podcast looks like. You turn this around.
Plenty of coffee.
Got my co-host Brian Clark in the house. Our guest today, Harrison Wexler, and the man running the show, Mr. Leighton Hart in the background. So to record a podcast, we will always record so audience can decide which form they want to consume. So we do a video and then also naturally put out the audio version in the form of a podcast on whatever platform you use it. So Leighton's getting ready. I guess we're going to do a sound check. Is that correct, Leighton?
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
Mic check.
Yeah.
You guys
Check.
stand by. We're going to do a little mic check.
Yep. All right. So here's you're gonna want. We don't need to use the headphones, but you're gonna want the mic like right there, and you can put this where you're comfortable. You know, just sitting and talking, but don't stray too far from the mic.
Okay.
Cool.
How's that sound?
1,
Trying to
2,
find you all a
mic
decent
check.
camera angle here.
Oh, 1, 2, that's good.
Check.
We going
Thank you
headsets
very
today
much.
or no?
You
don't wanna go
can
heads-
if you want to. You don't have to. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Check. Check.
I learned that you have to turn the headset on, actually.
That's like
Harrison Wexler. Thank you very much. Check. Check.
Do you have a radio voice, Harrison, that you use?
Let's hear your podcast voice. Oh, this is gonna be great already. All right, Leighton's like, I'm gonna have so many edits.
Oh, that's good. We have an edit button.
No.
Yes.
There's no
Raw.
edit button.
No.
You just
We
have to
need-
go like this. You have to go, and then we know that Leighton has to write down at this time we messed up and just whatnot. So
It's like when you were a teenager and you used to write papers. You had an old typewriter, and there was no editing at all. You know, if you messed up,
you're that old?
I'm that old. I'm that old.
Typewriter.
Yes.
Wide out.
What is that?
Oh, what?
An old typewriter.
You get all the way down to the end, and you mess something up and misspell something, and you'd have to do it all
Start the whole
There you
thing
go.
over again.
There you go.
That's a long time ago. 19 and...
So were you the type whenever computers came out and it says press any key, you're like, where's the any key at? Where's the any key?
It was a long time. I had one of the very first laptops in graduate school, I remember, and it would make all kinds of noises and had the little small 3.5-inch, hard discs, and you put it in there and hit the button and it would go. And Lotus 1, 2, 3.
Did it have
Wow.
the pull start?
You had to prime it. Yeah, that's exactly
Diesel.
right.
Diesel, yeah.
How's everybody sound?
Pretty good. Let's just do, Brian, say, count to 10 or something.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
11, 12, 13.
So, you remember what you told me you were doing the other day? Or when somebody's answering the question, your mouth,
you move your mouth, yeah.
you were just doing it.
Was I really?
When I was counting to 10, you were counting to 10 with me.
Craig does that.
Oh, really?
Like when somebody's talking, she'll go.
So I always give Ashley crap because
Were you like helping them?
yes, well it's like predictive talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, then I realized that
Is
was
he doing his sound check?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Was that Johnny Cash?
I hear the train coming.
One thing I will tell you, and it's hard to be aware of, but if there is a moment where you're laughing or something like that, try to just
Back
ease
up.
off the mic just
Gotcha.
a touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it. I think we're good.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Harrison, you ready to start this thing?
I'm ready to start.
Okay. Start recording. All right, listeners, we are back. It's a Better Everyday podcast. I've got my co-host, Ryan Collard.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
Good.
Is that collard or collard, like a collard green?
Collard green. Collard, actually. Collard.
Collard.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue a little bit better if you finesse it. You know what I mean?
So I've been saying it really wrong for a long
Yeah, pretty much, but it's all right.
It's all right. We forgive you.
It doesn't bother me at all. I've been called a lot of names, and
I like collard.
Collard's actually preferred. So
So you just got done recording with Ryan McKinney, the
Yeah.
Johnson City Small Business Podcast.
right.
So 2 hours back to back.
Yeah, man.
You got a two-a-day today.
Yeah, loving it.
Awesome. I did a two-a-day, I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was mentally drained afterwards.
Really?
Yep.
Oh
So,
man, this is great.
Good luck. Well, hopefully you'll make it through this second hour. So we've got a star with us today,
Oh man.
right here in our presence. It's
Where?
Harrison Wexler. I give him that star title because he is one of the Dancing with the Stars contestants that'll be taking place June 6th at the Meadowview Marriott. And but more importantly, he's a founding
Tickets
member.
on sale now.
What do the tickets cost, Harrison?
Yeah.
A mere $150.
To see you dance. That
Wow.
is
To
that
see
is
you
worth
dance.
the buck.
That's
Priceless, Brad. Priceless.
There you go. So Harrison's been with us at the gym at Thunder Valley since January 26th, and I specifically remember this night. This guy walks in, and he left his clothes draped over our trash can. And I'm like, wow, what have we gotten ourselves into? So,
What
We didn't
year?
have any lockers. It was not a proper gym.
oh, it's my fault. Okay,
What?
gotcha.
What year was that?
This is 2013.
There was no trash in the trash can.
There you go. Well, okay. We'll
Okay.
give you
Amazing.
that. So, Harrison, tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up, and what you did, and where you're at now in life.
I grew up in Johnson City.
Okay.
So, started here. Actually, I was born in Kingsport, but my father was working for one of our free service tire stores in Kingsport at the time, and then moved to the corporate office in Johnson City in 1963, the year I was born. And
Wow.
that's horses and buggies. Grew up here and went to University High School. Went off to high school in Indiana at Culver Military Academy, and then went to Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
So, was that a graduate program?
No, went to University of Tennessee, Knoxville campus for graduate school. Got
Okay.
an MBA, and from there,
So the Wofford Terriers, is that right?
Mighty Terriers.
Mighty Terriers.
Yeah,
Is it,
they're
what
fierce.
kind of?
They're fierce.
Well,
You
there's
don't
a-
need to overlook them; they'll bite you.
What kind of terrier is it exactly? It was just a general.
Boston Terrier.
Oh, the Boston.
But they weren't the fighting terriers, or
Nah.
no?
They were. There was a lot smaller campus back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And then went to UT for graduate school. Got my MBA at UT, and Felicia and I were married the year I graduated, about 30 years ago, and went to work for Free Service Tire in Knoxville. We had 7 stores in Knoxville at the time, and we had one down on Magnolia Avenue. If you guys know much about Knoxville,
Yeah.
Magnolia is the
Exactly where it's at.
yeah, that store had been there so long that they actually built the interstate over it. So when you drive through in Knoxville, you'll see that big sign
Yeah,
up
free
there
service.
by the interstate. That's because the
That's right near the Regis sign down there, correct?
that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I
We're in
remember
the same
that now.
parking lot.
Good deal.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
So you guys kept growing Free Service Tire, and
Mhm.
you most recently sold the company, correct?
That's right. It's hard to believe, but it's been, in May, it'll be 2 years ago.
Wow.
It takes a while to, unfold a sale like that, but it'll be another year or so before we're finished. But we sold to Monroe Incorporated in May 2018.
And you're recently retired, correct?
That's right.
Really?
Okay.
You
That's-
retired? Finally.
Well,
No?
we kept some of the property, and we lease it back to Monroe.
Sure.
So I spend some time with those leases. We've got 10 different stores, kind of spread out between Bristol and Knoxville. That take
So
care.
your
of.
day to day is not, you're not in,
Not nearly.
in the
I can-
trenches anymore.
That's right. I can control that.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. So your days now look like what? 6:30 a.m. CrossFit,
That's right.
and then from there.
And then from there, I'll practice my dancing with my Kim Adler, my dance instructor, and from there, I usually go home and make Mrs. Wexler breakfast,
Good husband.
which is something that
Wow.
I never got a chance to do. And
So she
and-
loving that.
Oh yeah, she loves that.
There you go.
Yeah, I get points that way,
There you go.
and those are very important when you get to be my age.
Most definitely.
So with dancing, that you were saying your only other experience dancing was what?
With my sister in the gym, because she was the only one that would dance with me, right?
At a sock hop,
Yeah,
right?
that's at the sock hop. That's what we called it back then.
So we are in for a treat come June 6th.
And I don't really know if you could call it dancing. So
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
know.
great.
All right. So let's go ahead and dive into your Thunder Valley journey, and just you've been with us for 7 years now, so there's a lot of you've seen every aspect of the business with coming on board the third week of us opening. So we were in our 2,200 square foot spot at that time, and so what were your initial thoughts of the gym and CrossFit once you got in and became a member?
Well, I first met Chris Rasnick. Gosh, it was probably 3 or 4 years before the gym opened. We were homeschooling one of our sons, and needed a PE class. So we decided to get a instructor that could really do a good job. And Felicia found Chris, and he did such a good job. He actually PT'd us for a little bit, and a couple of years went by, no contact with him, and then a friend of mine and I were going to do a regular AT hike that we do every year, section hike. And I knew I needed to get in shape, so I called Chris. He said, "Oh, well, you're calling it a good time. I'm getting ready to start a gym."
There we go.
There we go. And you ought to. He said, "What do I do?" He said, "Just show up." So I showed up, and the rest is history. What year was that?
2013.
13.
2013.
And I look back, it was actually January 26th, 2013. So
Wow, I was 59.
you were 59 then?
No.
Well, how old are you now?
I was
Goodness,
four-
you're
I was
66 now?
I was 49.
49.
Okay.
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 That's when you hit the edit button.
No, that's
This is
beautiful,
raw, man.
That's,
This is raw.
that's exactly
I was
what we
I was
need.
49. I'm 56 now.
And obviously dementia's hitting a little bit.
Hey, what?
Do you remember 2014, those CrossFit years by chance?
Whippersnapper.
No, but in all seriousness, you came into the gym and all of a sudden all these abs started showing up. And I remember it was 15 or 16. You signed up for the CrossFit Open, and what you finished pretty good that year. Was it in the state of Tennessee? What'd you finish at? Do you remember?
You're talking about in my neighborhood, in the state of Tennessee, in my neighborhood, in my
Your-
zip code,
In your age group.
in my age. I don't remember, but it was pretty
Nothing
good.
you remember, Brian?
I felt like it was 25th
25th?
It was-
in the
it was-
state?
in the state
Yeah.
of Tennessee.
But
That's awesome.
that was from the old geezer group, though.
No,
No,
that's all right.
no,
We wouldn't call it the old geezer group.
not
We'll
at
call
all.
it
You're the master.
right. Masters ages 45 to 49, or was it 50 to 54? I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the workouts. It was the first time I'd really been able to start an exercise program and stick with it. Up till then, I'd just been running a lot.
what do you contribute sticking with the program to?
The programmed workouts and the fact that there's a group there, and there's people, and you just don't want to be last. You know, I hate to get beat by girls, so.
That's why you're always
I
in
know.
Thomas's
It happens
class
a lot.
now.
It happens a whole lot.
You get beat by girls all the time.
I know it.
Yeah. So I feel like, is it fair to say you kind of peaked from a performance standpoint in the 2015 or 16 years? Would you say that?
I would say, yeah, I'd say so. I know we had a workout this morning I was looking at, and I had my result, or those the top wall balls was from 2014. And
How many unbroken did you get that day?
and instead of the comments, judged by Brad Weems.
Oh, those standards were high then.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was 51.
What'd you get today?
Oh, it was terrible. It wasn't even half. It wasn't even half. It's like 23, 24. It was terrible. Chris and I thought maybe I was on crack or something.
That day.
I think it was, yeah.
Back in 14.
I think it was definitely performance enhancing
Coffee
something or
is the
another.
poor man's crack.
That's right.
That's right.
But yeah, I've gone from there to there in 6 years.
That's the edit we need to make to this audio. So moving forward,
It's sad.
you had a little, was it a tweak or some kind of injury, roughly 2017, 18?
Yeah, I had a posterior labrum,
Shoulder.
and then I had two different shoulder deals. One was in the back and one was in the front. And Sarah helped PT it, and about 4 months later, I felt like I was back and I could do overhead stuff again.
And just a little plug, that is Sarah Morgan. She's a physical therapist in-house with us at Thunder Valley.
Oh, she's great. She's done Felicia's knee.
That's great.
Yeah,
and
so
been very happy.
since then you've been moving healthy again.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Good. And so, one thing, 7 years of being at the gym, your motivation, your motivation levels, your performance, everything's gonna waver a little bit, just like any relationship or especially an exercise program. So, can you talk about like your maturity or how your mindset's changed since day one to now?
It definitely has. When I first started, it was fifth gear, go all the time, and I was really trying to get in that top 10 list on the chart every single day, and competing with the other folks was pretty important to me. And now I learned how important it is just to compete with myself. I've got some really good baseline numbers, and I can check those, and it does a great job of letting me know where I am performance-wise, so I don't compare myself to other people, just to myself.
But on the rainy days like today, how do you push through those?
I remember the first week of coming in, I asked you, what do I need to do to be successful? And you said, just show up. So that's really what I go back to. I just show up. Sometimes I don't do all that great, but I'm there, and I get some benefit out of it. And some days, I'm over the top and I've had a really great day. But you can't move ahead if you're not there. So just showing up to me is the most important.
Even if you're running late, you can still show up, right?
That's right. And you and I over the years have, with you being so successful in business, have thrown back and forth just different thought processes when it comes to business and growing and whatnot. And that was actually something that you had told me a while back. Is some of the best leaders or the people that have the most success are just consistent in what they do.
Absolutely. It's tough. Consistency is the one common denominator between one and the other. You can be good for a week, you can be good for a month or a year, but if you're really going to be successful, you have to be there consistently, and you have to show consistent performance on a regular basis. That's kind of what separates one from the other.
There you go. So, I don't know if you listeners are familiar or watch Sports Center, but Sports Center on a daily basis has a top 10 countdown, and they will highlight the best plays of the day or whatnot. And so I'm kind of still in this thought process from them of the top 10, maybe best, funniest Harrison Wexler moments we've had over 7 years. And I see I was sending Harrison an outline yesterday to our podcast here, and he just pulled out a notepad if you're listening. He actually doesn't get a choice in this list. These might be his moments, but or these moments are about him, but I'm actually the one that's going to be picking the order today. So,
oh man,
yeah. You sent over that
This is
list,
not
and
gonna be good.
I was like, that's good, but you really don't have a say in this.
Dang.
Yeah. Do you have a?
Center, top 10.
I'll tell you
So
what.
we don't get to talk about Hidden Valley CrossFit.
Hidden Valley.
I'll tell you what.
Ranch dressing? Is that what you're talking about?
We'll consider that an honorable mention.
Okay.
Harrison always at one point would joke around that there was an alternative gym down the street he was training at or opening named Hidden Valley.
Hidden Valley. I see.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So whenever I try to get something like a free masseuse or Brad to go out and start my car on a cold morning, or how I got free coffee at the gym, I would just say Hidden Valley CrossFit has an espresso machine.
You gonna edit that out, like?
No, I'm
Yeah, just helping me step up the business, the customer experience that we have at Thunder Valley.
Hidden Valley CrossFit, ladies and gentlemen.
.com.
Hidden Valley Road,
Hidden Valley Road.
Ford Town, USA.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive into these top 10 Harrison Wexler favorite moments. This was great. It was a Saturday morning. 60, 70 people show up to work out. And I don't know if you guys have ever had this moment, but you're driving down the street, and this has happened like 3 times in my life. But you see an animal walking out in the middle of the road, and someone accidentally hits it. You drive on past it, and the animal's like barely conscious but still alive. That's what this deer basically was that he pulled up. He pulls up 60, 70 people in class and opens his truck bed, and he's got a deer that's like still barely holding on, and it's bloody, and it's just like, Harrison. And of course, we probably had 5 drop-ins that day. And how do you explain like a deer? Anyway.
No, actually, I've been hunting that morning, and I shot the deer, and the butcher's on the way past the gym out in Piney Flats, and I thought, well, I still got time for a workout, so I pulled into the gym, and I remember on the way out, I looked up and I said, I'm gonna send Brad a picture of this, So I had the Thunder Valley in the back and the deer in, and you're like, you brought a dead animal to my gym.
It's a Dwight Schrute goose moment right there. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, you weren't happy. I thought I might have offended some of the members.
So it wasn't, just to clarify, it wasn't roadkill.
No, but it was. That was my memory.
Animal.
My memories of it.
Like
it was.
He had hit it on the way.
Yeah, it was.
Through the back of his truck.
Exactly. All right, so let's go on to number 9. Number 9, Harrison goes home, and for you guys that have done a CrossFit workout before, you have multiple rounds we score, and so at the gym we use poker chips, and so Harrison, go ahead. I'll let you finish this story.
So the workout's over, and I go home, and I throw my clothes down the laundry chute, and I hear Felicia coming up the stairs, and she says, "So, where you been?" And I said, "Well, the gym." And she said, and she said, "Now I know why you've been spending so much time out." And she had these poker chips in her hand. She said, "Gym, huh? How do you explain these?" And she pulls out all these poker chips, and what do you think I am, stupid?
That's
and
great.
so I had to explain, and then finally, I think
You convinced her that
convinced
you weren't
her.
actually gambling.
That's right.
That's how we count at CrossFit.
That's right.
By using a poker chip.
There you go. So
That's amazing.
I got on our Thunder Valley group yesterday and typed in your name, and this is actually number 8 here. And the first thing that pops up is a video, and it says Harrison Wexler demonstrates the snatch, and Harrison literally was at the bottom in the setup position for 10 seconds, and I'm assuming he's like really thinking about his technique and all the proper movement patterns. Hey, go ahead. You need to interject.
I was going to interject that I learned all I know from Brad
Hold on.
and Chris at Thunder Valley.
I don't want
CrossFit.
to take credit for all your movement patterns.
I can't take credit for my own form. It comes from the expert instruction.
7 years long. I mean, they've cultivated you.
I'm gonna
and
it's
molded
to a
you into
fine
what you are.
art.
I'm gonna blame this on Chris the 3 years before he came to Thunder Valley. Although I doubt they were snatching. But anyway, in this video, Harrison, he hits that second pull, and that third pull's kind of weak, and all of a sudden he receives the bar in the top of his head.
Oh gosh.
And then manages to, after he's hit it, locks it out. I'll edit that video in. But also taking place, and I heard about this one, I didn't see it, just as of like a year and a half ago. Apparently you were like a bloody mess from a bad snatch rep. Like you see like in WWE wrestling, like blood going down the forehead and everything.
I got up one morning and I was just out of it, and we were doing snatches, and I go up for a snatch, and I really with a full head of steam, just as hard as I could, snatched the bar up and put my head forward, and the bar hit my forehead, and I went down like a sack of bricks, man.
Yeah.
It was bad, and at first, you know how a head wound is, it bleeds a lot.
Yeah.
And so there you go.
I've done that before. It does not feel good.
So
You're
what
like
if-
really into it. You feel like you're doing the right. You're in the flow of it, and you're moving well. Then all of a sudden, the bar meets your face. And it
The
does
first
not
thing you
feel
do is
good.
look around and see if anybody saw that. And of course, everybody saw that. And they're trying to avert their eyes like, we're not going to stare, but,
Yeah.
it's getting, the spot on your forehead's getting bigger and bigger and redder and redder.
So my question is, you got away with the poker chip story. How did you explain that one?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Been in a bar
forehead?
fight or something. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the forehead.
Yeah,
I
before
got no
she's there.
questions on the forehead. I think she just expects stupid stuff.
Okay.
She just looked and was like, oh yeah, that's Harrison.
All right, so number 7, it actually, we're going to touch back to what he said just a minute ago. Harrison decides to go on vacation and drops in, was it in Pennsylvania? Where was it?
I thought it was a warm place, like
Okay,
in
man.
Florida.
All right.
Like I think it was in Miami.
So,
Like some real hipster, CrossFit place.
so one of Harrison's common faults in his movement patterns is his inability or lack thereof to lock out in an overhead press. And he comes back from vacation and he's like, "You're not gonna believe what happened down in Florida." He said, "They ding me for the same thing you all always tell me." I was like,
Oh.
do you think I'm lying to you half the time? Or?
Well, they actually had mirrors too, and you could actually see it, which is
Okay, that
even
was
more
helpful.
cruel. And and you said, well, what do you think we have to look at every morning?
So they really got. I mean, they were hounding you
But-
about your technique.
Well, wait,
he-
here it was like you get down there and you kind of like want to show off a little bit because everybody else is, and you're like, yeah, I'll go across.
You're the drop in. Everybody knows that you're.
That's right,
Not
and so I get up and I'm doing some overheads and the guy's looking at me and he says, well, he said maybe we ought to work on some transitions. And I look at
break
him,
this movement
and
down.
I realized, I said, yeah, you said you're just not locking out at the top, and I said, well, like this is how they taught me to do it at Thunder Valley CrossFit, Brad.
He's
Williams,
probably looking Thunder Valley up.
Chris
These guys are
Rasnick,
idiots,
Johnson
man.
City,
Yeah.
Tennessee, box number.
I have no doubt that if he would have been a bloody mess at that drop in, we'd be out of business. HQ would have stripped our affiliate. So
Yeah, and so in the future they told me not to tell which gym I went to.
No,
if I drop in at a box in the
it
future.
was
somebody else.
CrossFit stacked. It
Yeah,
was
that-
CrossFit stacked. That's where I'll go. All right, moving on. I love this one. I wasn't there, but I hear this was epic. your nephew is in town, and you'd asked me if he could drop in and work out with you. And it was a segmented Karen this day, so every 5 minutes you had to do 50 wall balls for a total of 150.
It was really hot outside.
Real hot, and I guess you treated your nephew to lunch at Moto's.
I don't know. He ate something with a lot of rice in it.
Yeah, we
and
proceed-
big chunks of chicken.
We proceeded to
and
find
some
out
peas and some little green peas.
Oh my God.
because he threw up all outside the gym, just chunks of rice and
Oh my
chicken.
God.
Yeah.
Did your
And Chris
nephew-
is out there hosing that down. It took forever.
Oh, Harrison,
That's great. You're like, yeah, come work out. Karen, his first workout.
That's
that is-
awful.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was 15, 16, and just
Young
going at it.
whippersnapper.
Just ran in there and just going at it as hard as he could go.
Yeah.
And
they're
didn't
invincible
really-
at that age.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen so many times.
Right.
It's crazy. People think that they're good to go, and all of a sudden they're throwing up.
Then his uncle's got abs. He's like, I got to show him up. Anyway. All right, so moving on to number 5. We're getting ready to move from our old location to our new location, and we had a storage room at the old facility, and I'm just
Ching.
cleaning it out and throwing everything in the trash can. Harrison runs up to me and he's just panicking. He's like, "What are you doing with that? Why are you putting all that stuff in the trash can?" And being the thrifty individual he is, proceeds to take everything out, and you would have thought it was my son Henry at Christmas.
Jackpot.
Yeah.
It was a jackpot. They had been back there. It was like 2 or 3 years worth of lost and found items, which nobody was coming back for.
Those
What?
khakis you got on right now, you found those back there, right?
No,
No, you actually
those aren't the action pants.
Alicia bought those for me. Do you have a favorite lost and found item?
Yeah, I got a brand new UT pullover.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Brand
Yeah,
new?
It
yeah.
legitimately is brand new.
It looked brand new.
Okay.
It looked great. It was.
Name brand, Nike.
Yeah, it was a Vols. Which if you go to the stadium, you got to pay like $60 for.
It's a game day shirt.
I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
It made my day.
Nice.
And just
awesome.
That was my number
Well,
one
just-
lost and found item.
Yeah, but 2 months ago, he is now looking through lost and found. He's like, "Has anybody claimed that green Under Armour shirt over there?" And if you're listening and that's your shirt, he'll give it back to you.
Next time we have you on, we're gonna do the top 10 lost and found items that you found. Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, he snagged that one about 3 weeks ago.
Nice.
So.
It's a good shirt.
What's the time limit that you allow?
Now that is an interesting
When
question.
can you call dibs?
Because you don't want to be walking around
2
the
weeks.
box with somebody else's shirt on. They say, "Hey, I've been looking for that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt?"
Lost and found, 2 weeks, buddy. It's mine.
It's whenever Brad and Chris tell you it's okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. That's the time. I
That's
got you.
right.
I got you.
All right, let's move on to number 4, and I've got to preface this one a little bit. So one of the most interesting and I guess confusing things I've experienced and witnessed with Harrison over the years, and I don't know if this is just all about being efficient or what it is, but the guy, for example, if Harrison, for you guys watching, if you're looking at this outfit right now, it is a button-up and it's khakis. But Harrison always wears his workout clothes underneath his dress clothes. And even better, he wears workout socks underneath his dress socks. So
That's so funny.
he comes in, especially like if it's an afternoon class, strips off the button down, strips off the pants, takes off the dress socks, keeps the workout socks on. If it's the morning, after the workout's over, within 5 minutes, he's putting these additional layers back on.
It's a time saver, Brad. See,
Efficient.
yeah, that's right.
Are you so
if it's
busy?
warm, I'll do it in the parking lot.
Are you so busy that, those seconds are that valuable?
Not anymore. So now I'll do it in the actual locker room.
So is this a technique that somebody taught you, or is this something you just learned yourself? That
You're just
this
kind
is
of
the
you're just
efficient way to
kind
do it?
of prepared because I'll get so dang busy I won't have time to go home and change or go home and take a shower and nobody really cares at the truck tire center or the retread plant whether how good I smell. It doesn't
True.
matter. So I'd have to
Are
go
you
home.
sure that they don't, though? I mean,
Have you
you're the
asked
boss
them?
man. Nobody's going to actually say
I
no.
don't really care.
Okay, that's better.
But
That's great.
so anyway, Harrison comes to a 4:30 class, and he pulls up at the new facility. We've got glass doors,
Oh, I remember.
and so he opens up the truck and takes off his button up, and there's his t-shirt, and pull down the pants, and he goes. Because he had just flashed the 4:30 class. They saw all the Harrison goods.
You didn't put any shorts on.
No,
Oh,
forgot
okay.
the
Every
shorts
now
that
and then you
morning.
get busy and you're not paying attention and you forget, and I would forget to put my shorts. So now I always check. I always undo the belt and I look down, make sure that there's some shorts down
That's
there.
great.
Yeah.
That's
So we
awesome.
for number 4 we flashed the 4:30 class.
Yeah, they were running around the building. I all came running around the building at the same time.
That's awesome. So number 3 kind of coincides with that. He shows up to the gym one day and doesn't have any shorts, and I was like, I got you, no problem. And I give him these Lululemon shorts, an $80-$90 pair of shorts.
Nice shorts.
Yeah.
I remember 'em.
And he's hoping they show up in Lost and Found.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure.
won't find those in Lost.
But Harrison starts working out that day, and I discovered, I don't know if I should say this on the Better Everyday podcast, we'll edit it out but Harrison goes commando apparently whenever he works out, or just in his daily basis. And that's why we flashed the whole class, is because we go
But
commando.
you didn't have any underwear.
No
on.
underwear on.
Here's the rest of the story. See,
Oh,
It's an efficiency thing once again. That
Chris-
underwear, it takes too long.
Chris is just trying to get in your head. See, he told you that. Actually, I had my underwear on. We were just trying to get a free pair of shorts because we knew you wouldn't keep them if you knew.
see, that's smart.
They touched your bare body.
That's exactly right. And the other parts.
And so then he even levels it up. I realize he's going commando in my shorts. He goes to the bathroom, comes back, throws the sweaty shorts on my $120 Lulu backpack. Just leaves them there. Didn't even wash them.
So I'm beginning to think, did you buy any of the clothes that you actually wear? Did you free the Lost and Found over the town?
I remember. I was. Chris asked me the same question.
Oh, really?
I said, well, these shorts are modern, because they had Asics on them. And he said, well, where'd you get them? I said, well, I got them from my father-in-law. He said. And then he said, okay. And then he about a minute later, he said, wait, I thought you said your father-in-law was dead.
Half of his workout wardrobe is clothes of a dead man.
So right in the middle of class, he's like, hold on a second. He said, you're wearing a dead man's shorts. I said, well, he doesn't need them.
That's true.
That's true.
All right,
That's
so
so funny.
let's move on to number 2. I was really, if we have one moment that just stands out as the best Harrison moment ever, and I can't take that away from the number 1 spot, but this is so close of a number 1, it's not even funny. So we're rewind back to whenever we were talking about Harrison and hitting his kind of like peak level of performance, which is about that 2015 time range, and
It's the old gym.
yep, you decided to sign up for the Thunder Valley Throwdown, and I feel like Ryan, I don't know if you were here for this one or not, but we got Rusty Babe and Kenny Gross back there DJing. John City Brewing Company had offered us a free keg of beer.
So it's like a fraternity party, okay?
Yeah.
You got the DJ going in the corner, and people are dancing, drinking beers, and
10 in the
having
morning.
a good time.
Yeah. Awesome.
And he's already came home once or twice with poker chips and a bloody face, and so he finally gets Felicia to come check out the
Because
gym.
Felicia has absolutely no interest in the gym and CrossFit. It's like she's tired of me telling about the workouts because that gets really old, especially
Right.
if you're not a CrossFit person.
Totally.
And so I literally drag her over,
to come watch him.
to come watch me, with Greg DeGeneiro in the competition. And we get out of the parking lot, we hear this music, boom, 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 boom.
And
And
what
we
is she
go
thinking?
around,
Yeah.
and we go around the corner.
And then to even level it up even more, we had an RX women's team, Buns and Guns.
Oh yeah, so
And-
all the women, just so happens, all the women are
wearing the
are
shortest
working out
spandex
at that
I've ever
very time when we
seen.
round
No
the
wonder
corner.
you like it over here.
that's exactly the look I got.
So teams like 6-inch spandex shorts and sports bras, burping and just, you know.
Beer spilling all over the place, loud
Right.
music,
What did she say?
Was she trying to get you to discontinue your membership?
She said something, but the music was so loud you couldn't hear it.
Oh yeah.
But you could tell by
And
facial expressions that it wasn't good, whatever she
It
was
wasn't
saying.
good. No, we didn't stay very long. We did not stay very long. And
That's right, you did withdraw from the competition, I feel like.
Did you really?
well, actually, no. She just didn't stay and watch.
Okay.
She
Okay.
found something else to do, and she came back later.
She's like, I'm out. I'm not
Yes,
sticking around
yes.
for this.
So that took a very, very long time to
Luckily,
smooth that
Has she
one
been
out.
back since?
luckily you had paid your membership a year in full in advance, so you, as being as thrifty as you were, weren't going to lose that money.
You get a
So,
discount.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
So all you listeners that want to drop a big load of cash, come on in.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that was epic though. And our number one moment where we just got done with a 12-week squat cycle, and we are retesting our back squat at the end of the cycle. And T Money and Harrison are sharing a bar at the rig, and we'll definitely be attaching video to this. But Thomas goes down for his squat, and he has this little, like, his left knee kind of, I don't know, it did this little tweak thing, and I think Harrison's panicking that he'd, like, suffered an injury or something, so he runs at him full throttle. No. And T-Money had upward momentum in the squat if you actually review the slow-mo, but
Oh yeah.
what were you thinking?
Well, I remember I think it was a Monday, and so we were trying to do a 1-rep max for squats that morning, and T Money, he'd load up the bar and he was going for his 1-rep max, and everybody's kind of shaky when they're going. Anyway, he comes up, and he really, like, when you look at the video, you could tell he would have had it. He would have had it. So I kind of robbed him of his one. So he gets about halfway up, and he's starting to shake a little bit. And he sees me coming at him, and he goes, no.
Obviously, I can do slow-mo of this video.
And then I push the bar off of him, so that he will not be injured. And it actually rolls across the floor all the way to.
His T-Money's face when he's on the ground.
What'd you just do to me?
Why did you do that?
12 weeks of work, I'm deprived.
I swear I've watched that video maybe 100 times. Like,
If you're ever depressed or feeling down, you can watch that video and it will make you feel good.
So Harrison will be reviewing and teaching proper spotting techniques next Monday class, so be sure and show up for that. But yeah, those are my top 10 moments. They've been some good ones, and thank you for being with us for 7 years now, Harrison. I really appreciate it.
all jokes aside, you're one of my favorite people at the gym. I really, you bring a smile on everybody's face. Everybody loves you. So
I know when Ryan started coaching some at the gym on Tuesday nights, he came to me. He said, "You know who one of my favorite people is that I just met?" He's like, "Harrison."
yeah, I love it. I mean, that day that you figured out the double under, you remember that?
Mhm.
You got that.
I
You worked on it.
remember
It's like
that.
You were programming double unders on Tuesday nights, and you kept working at them. And what's funny is the irony is, like, I asked Harrison at that point, because if you can dance, you can double under, and we've established that already.
No wonder he couldn't double under.
Right. But maybe the double unders will help you in your new dancing
There you
venture. Yeah.
It is. I don't know. It's just something about the way you explained it to me that I got it, and all of a sudden the light bulb clicked on. It was
Yeah,
like,
it was great. It was an awesome day of coaching for me, just seeing you do that. And
I remember that day.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, Harrison, to wrap up, I want to talk a little bit about the Dancing with the Stars event. It is June 6th. What is the cause for the event? Or who's the proceeds going to?
Jeremiah School,
Okay.
which is a school for autism, for autistic kids. There's about 20 students there. It's on the campus of Coalition for Kids. They take about 3 or 4 of the classrooms, and families can bring their autistic children and get a regular class curriculum. I don't know if you know much about autism, but it's tough. It's tough to find a place to take your child and actually get taught because of the wide spectrum of the disability. So if the school system has to offer, for example, a schoolroom or a classroom to autistic children, but the teachers are usually overwhelmed as it is, and it's hard. They're not really trained to handle them.
Right.
So they don't get the attention they need. A lot of times they end up just at home all the time. So here, Jeremiah School gives them formal teaching training. They actually get to interact with the Coalition for Kids in some cases in the afternoons, and it's the only school for autism in the area within
Wow.
hundreds of miles. It's a
That's
neat
awesome.
place you can go by and visit on the weekdays if you know where Coalition for Kids is.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah, real close to the gym.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely, right up the street.
That's great.
How you feeling? Is your dancing going good? I've seen strides
It's
in your movement
definitely
pattern.
going to be worth the $150 that you'll spend on the ticket to come watch me. But no, I'm improving a little bit,
Do you have the?
painfully slowly.
Is there a type of dance that you've chosen that you're going to do?
Well, excellent question.
Like
The
swing?
first thing you need to choose is the dance style that you
Yeah,
want to
right.
do. So a salsa or a tango or a waltz
Right.
or a swing or a two-step. And next
Hip hop?
you
Hip hop? No.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do the hip hop.
Okay. The
And
ballroom
let's
dancing.
not get crazy.
Right. Okay.
And
Because I've seen a pair of shorts that you like, FUBU shorts that you've gotten from Lost and Found that you could actually wear that night.
really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were doing hip hop, but you're not. So anyway.
So
Um,
have you picked a style yet?
I've got one dance number that's going to be a waltz,
Nice.
and so I'm practicing that right now. We hadn't choreographed anything yet, but I cannot divulge the music for that particular
Oh.
score. It's suffice it to say it'll be very entertaining.
Okay. We had no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So
Now
Harrison,
there's going to be a Thunder Valley table,
there you go.
and
So we'll be
Thunder
there.
Valley is going to be promoted at the event.
Nice.
Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good night.
great.
So, Harrison, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you.
I know you got a busy schedule with that retired life now, and fit it in.
busy, Brad.
Poor Felicia's probably not even eating this morning because of us. So
That's right. You gotta get home and make breakfast.
Oh, that's right. What time is it? Gotta go, Brad.
there you go. All right. Well,
Mrs. Wexler
thank
needs
you all
her
for
breakfast.
listening. Please subscribe or rate the program. That would be much appreciated. Thanks.